Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Braedyn, and today I'm going to be taking you through your warm-up. So you will need no equipment for this, but one thing that might help is if you have a hand towel or something similar nearby. So to get started here, we're just going to go into some side steps, just warm up the body a little bit, and get a little bit of blood flow going in the lower extremities. This workout is actually going to be structured from the lower to the upper. So we're going to start, do a few movements and stretches down for the legs, and then work our way up to the core and then the upper body. So if you want to get into some hamstring curls now, we're just going to go side to side here, picking your leg up directly behind your butt. You should feel those leg biceps curling, if you would. And then we're going to go into some calf raises straight from here. So with a close grip like this, you are simply going to push yourself up and slowly lower back down. We'll do that for about 10 reps. It's 5. And last one, 10. Good. Now we're going to get into some leg raises. These are going to work the adductors and the abductors, so kind of your thigh muscles. So if you want to transfer all your weight onto your right foot, you can go hands on your hips. You're just going to be extending out to the side like this. There's 3. Do about 8 reps total. 2 more. And 8. Good. Shift your weight, and we'll do the other side. And last one, 8. Good. Now we're going to stretch the lower body now that we've warmed it up a little bit. You never want to stretch your muscles cold. So this first one is just going to be the knee to chest. I'm sure you've seen this one before. You're pulling up on your knee as close to your chest as possible, really stretching out that glute. You need to roll your ankles a little bit too, get a stretch in there, feel free. I'm going to switch sides now, do this other side. Good. Next, we're going to be going into a quad stretch, which I'm sure you're familiar with. If not, it's going to look like this, where you throw your leg back into your hand, and you're keeping your legs almost perfectly in line. You're just putting a little tension and stretching out that quad. I'll do this other side. I'll show you what it looks like from the front here. Again, you're not pulling too hard on this, just enough to get a stretch in there. Good. This next exercise is a calf stretch, but it's actually a modification of the regular bent over stretch. So what you're going to do is extend one leg out here, completely straight. As you can see, my heel is done into the ground. Your other leg is going to give a slight bend, and you're just going to reach down and grab your toes. Your toes should be coming towards the ceiling, towards you. Sometimes you don't even need to grab them. You can already feel the stretch being like right here. So wherever is comfortable for you, work that spot. And we're going to do this other side as well. Again, kick out. Pushing those hips back. You're not putting any strain on the lower back. Really just focusing on the calves for this one. Good. All right. Now we're going to get into an exercise that kind of works everything that we just did. These are called split squats. So if you've ever done lunges, they are very similar to those. So what it's going to look like is I'm starting with my left leg forward, my right foot back. You're just going to take a big step. You'll notice my right foot has come up onto the balls of my feet here. And just like a regular lunge, you're going to go down and back up, making sure your knee doesn't drift too far over your toe. We're going to do 6 of these reps, so about 5 more. Good. Now I'm going to switch sides here. I'm going to go with my right leg forward. If you need to for balance work as well, you can throw your hands on your hips. Kind of helps out. Otherwise, throw them wherever is natural. If you need to rest a little bit and catch your breath, throw them above your head. 1 more. Good. Good work, guys. All right, we're going to be making our way to the floor now to finish off some of our leg exercises. So we're actually going to be going into a glute bridge. which if you've seen before, it is very similar to the crunch position. So back like this, what you're going to be doing is with your feet placed bent kind of like this, a little bit in front of you, not too close, not too far. You're going to be driving through your heels towards the ceiling. So like this. And you'll feel the squeeze in your hamstrings, your glutes, pretty much everywhere in your lower body. So we're going to do about 7 more of these reps. And 7. Good. From here, we're going to go straight into straight leg raises. So keeping my left leg up, I'm just going to lower my right leg straight. And this is a little bit of a hip movement. So what it's going to look like is you are just going to be raising your leg straight up and then controlling it back down. We're only going to do about 5 slow reps here to work the hips. We don't want to put too much pressure there, just enough to get them ready for whatever could come during the workout. Good. Now I'm going to switch and lower my left leg and bring my right one up here. And start. Good. I like to keep my hands right here on my hips, but if you want to keep them to the side, make it a little bit harder to balance your leg up, that's totally fine. Good. Good work, guys. And from here, we're actually going to work a little bit of abs already and do some crunches. So, same position here. You are just coming up to like a quarter sit-up and then coming back down. You should feel that flexion right on the top of your abs here. If you need to put your hands behind your head just a little bit, that's fine. But make sure you're not pulling, as you don't want to put any stress back on that neck. Otherwise, you can keep your hands crossed, or you can even keep them to the sides as long as you're not, using your momentum to get up or anything. Two more. All right, good work, guys. So we're going to finish off the lower body stretches here before we get into the upper extremities. So if you do have that hand towel, like I mentioned at the beginning, that would be the great time to grab it. If not, you can still perform this exercise without the towel. It might just be a little more difficult. So this is just called a hamstring stretch or a seated hamstring stretch. What it's going to look like if you don't have weights is you're simply going to be raising one leg off the ground and trying to reach and grab your toe. And you'll feel that tension kind of being created in your hamstring here. If you do have a towel like me, you're going to wrap it around that foot, and same thing. You're going to raise that leg up, keeping it completely straight, and we're going to hold this position. If you do have a towel, you want to create a little bit more tension there and try to get your leg as straight as possible while maintaining a neutral spine. But if you don't worry about it. Go whatever feels comfortable. All right, we're going to switch. It's the only time we'll be using the towel, so if you don't have one, again, do not feel like you are missing out. Good. All right. From here, we're going to get into a hip stretch. So again, back into that crunch-like position. What it's going to look like is I'm going to start on my left leg bent and bring my right one up and across, kind of into like a crisscross or a pretzel formation if you've ever done one of those before. And the resistance on this one comes from you. So I'm going to raise my left leg up, bringing this whole bent section closer to me, and you'll definitely start to feel that tension in the hips. So don't go too intense here. Perfect. All right, lower back down. I'm going to switch right leg, left ankle going up on top, and then pulling up towards myself. Here we go. Perfect. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And good. All right. Now, a classic exercise you can never forget about is the butterfly stretch. So, bring your legs together here, completely flat, and try and press your elbows down into your feet. And a little bit of a modification you can do this one actually to target the adductors and stretch them is to lean forward. Now your adductors are these inner thigh muscles here, so you will feel it almost immediately. I'm barely leaning forward and I've already felt that stretch, so be extra careful on this one. Good. All right. Now that we're nice and loose on the lower body, we're going to move over to the upper body with some push-up movements. So we're going to start with close grip push-ups for triceps. Now, if you've ever done close grip in the past, you may have done a diamond formation or like a triangle with your hands. I like to do mine a little bit differently. So what you're going to do is place your hands straight out in front of you, kind of exactly shoulder width or a little bit inside. And then when you go down, instead of flaring your elbows out to the sides like you would in a push-up, they're going to be going straight back in line with your body. So it's going to look something like this. Like that. 2. We'll do about 8 of these reps total. If you need to, you can always throw up on your legs or up on your toes as well. Do the full version of the push-up. Just want to make sure your balance is good on these guys. You don't want to come too far forward or too far back on them. Last one here. Good. Now from this position, we're going to go straight into a plank for 30 seconds. Work a little bit of the transverse or the side abdominals. So, keeping your hands together, we're going to go up. And remember to breathe during all these exercises. Big deep breaths. You want to make sure you're keeping your endurance up. And on this one, it's really important to keep your glutes engaged as well, as that's going to help your lower back kind of take a little bit of the stress off there. Keep going, guys. Go for about 5 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, good. Now we're going to keep this same forward position and go into just regular wide grip push-ups. So again, unlike the tricep ones, you're going to go a little bit outside your chest here. So just outside your shoulders or right at your shoulders. And your elbows are going to flare out at about a 90 or a 45 degree angle, instead of being close like those other ones. So from the side, it's going to look like this. Wide setup and down. Good. Really focusing on driving the chest, getting those shoulder blades to retract. There's 5. We'll do about 3 more. Same thing as the other push-ups. If you want to go up onto your toes for these, make them a little bit tougher, go for it. Last one. Good. All right. Now we're going to stretch out the abs a little bit before we make our way back up to standing position. So what it's going to look like is, I'm actually in the position right now. This first one's called a child's pose. If you are a yoga fanatic, you may be familiar with this. So what you're going to do is you are putting your hands straight like this, and you're pretty much just sitting back into your hips. So this is going to stretch out the lower back, as well as those hip flexors. We'll just hold it here for a few seconds, and we're actually going to transition straight into a Superman stretch. So watch me on this one. You're going to come up and straight out your back like this, and then just push. It's really going to stretch out this rectus abdominis. Get it ready for the couple of exercises we're going to do from the standing position. And good. You can make your way back to that child's pose. And then make your way up whenever you are ready. Good work, guys. All right. Like I said, we're going to be working our way up now that we've hit the abs a little bit and kind of stretched them out. We're going to do a little bit of upper body work. So to start, we're just going to be doing some shoulder presses. I'll take a step back. Keeping your arms at 90. We're just going to be going straight up. We'll do about 8 of these reps. Good. Halfway. About 4 more. And last one. Good. Good job, guys. Straight from there, we're going to go into some bicep curls. So if you're familiar with those, your wrists are simply here. You can pretend like you're holding dumbbells if you like. And you're just curling straight up and back down. Just working the arms through that range of motion. If you don't feel comfortable curling to the outside like this, and you kind of want to curl to the inside, hit a little bit of a different bicep, feel free. We're just going to do about 3 more reps here. Good. Now we're going to work a little bit of the upper back as well as the shoulder with some rear delt flies. So what it's going to look like is you're going to take a bent over position with your feet neutral, just like this. And you can pretend again like you're grabbing that weight out in front of you, and then you're going to be bringing it back like that. And your shoulder blades should be retracting and pulling back. So it's really going to work that upper back on this one. Do about 7 more reps. Remember to breathe. Keep that core tight on this one. Good. One more. Good. All right, nice work, guys. We're going to target the obliques now by doing some standing oblique crunches. So what that's going to look like is your arms are going to go straight behind your head here, and you're simply going to be touching your alternating elbow to your alternating knee. So for me, I'm going to start with my right elbow going to my left knee. It's going to look like this. And then switch. Good. Good. Again, crunching down, really focusing on doing the same movement that you were doing on the floor, bringing those top abs down without really, bending that back too much. Good. 2 more here. Good. All right, good work, guys. Shake it out. I know you might be feeling it. You might be ready to work out. We've still got a few minutes here. We'll finish off with the upper body. We are going to go into an overhead stretch. So what that's going to look like is your fingers laced. You're going to go overhead, and then you're simply going to bend just a little bit to your left. This one is mainly to focus on the obliques. So you're not going to get as much of a bend here in your hips. Go to the other side now. And from here, we're actually going to go straight into a reach over, which is a lat stretch. So from this one, you're going to do a single arm. So I'm going with my left. And you're going to reach straight over as far as you can, really stretching out the side of your lats here. If you need to breathe, kind of extend a little bit more. We're going to hit the other side now. Good. Again, trying to reach as far as you can directly over your head. Solid. Good work, guys. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of a tricep overhead stretch. So if you've done these exercises before, you can actually do a little bit of balance work. So as I throw my left arm up here, I'm going to put my left leg up as well, kind of in a tree pose. If you've watched these videos and kept up with us through the semester, you're awesome. I love you for it. And these are some very familiar exercises, so it's always good to throw in a little modification, a little bit of balance work, make things more challenging for yourself. After this one, we're going to be going straight into a cross-body stretch, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you've been working out with us. Good. I'm going to bring my right arm across. Again, going to that left leg for a little bit of balance work. If you can't hold a tree position like that, feel free to just hover your foot above the ground. Every little bit helps. Good. Switch over. Awesome. Good work. Our last little stretch here is a chest and bicep stretch. So what it's going to look like is you're lacing those fingers behind your back. You're going to be extending out, pushing that chest forward. Really trying to raise those arms if you want to work the biceps. If not, lower those arms, stretch out that chest. Good. Hold. Awesome. And our last bit here to kick up our heart rate before we get into our actual exercise is we're going to do 30 seconds of jumping jacks. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. If you need to do half jacks, feel free. Something like this. But again, we're just focusing on getting that heart rate up in these last few seconds here before we get into our real workout. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. You're almost there. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you have an awesome workout.